legacy guy that you want to mention?
Curtis Enos, All-American running back, 1997. His son is playing for Utah, wide receiver, Solomon Enos. So watch him, number 21 on the offensive side. But then Utah is missing some guys that are important. Their leading receiver, Kincaid, the tight end, is out. Their leading rusher got hurt in week 10. He's out, but the two guys that have filled in have done nicely. And you got their All-American corners out.
Yeah, so take a look at the guys that they don't have to worry about. These are some of the missing players. Clark Phillips is the one that you mentioned there. And then you go into the defensive guys for the Utes there.
A really good linebacker core here. Taller guys on the outside, 6'4", and the safeties are the leading tacklers, Tom, and that's sometimes good, sometimes it's bad, but these guys, you know,
they can tackle. I think from watching this, the guy they're really going to miss is the tight end, because as you know, that becomes the quarterback's safety valve. That's the guy he likes to look to. When all else fails, he's going there. The corner, too. Having a great corner is a big effect. This is the one game those linebackers are going to have to step up for Utah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the guys on the offensive side of the ball, you mentioned the tight end's not there, but they still got a couple of good running backs and good offensive linemen.
Yeah, they've got two tackles that were both first-team All-Pac-12. That's a big deal. Again, Penn State's going to have their hands full trying to get to the quarterback who's mobile. The two running backs that took over, it's really a two-headed monster there, combined for 400 and something yards in the last two games and at 8.7 yards per carry. And then the quarterback we'll talk about even more.
All right, so here's the other point we want to make in our opening drive quickly. It's too big to ignore, though, and that's the opportunity for the Big Ten. The spotlight very bright on the conference with Michigan and Ohio State in the national semifinals. The third-place team, Penn State, is in the Rose Bowl, Tom. So you got three teams with the national spotlight shining bright.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good chance for everybody to show just how good the Big Ten is. I mean, it could be a interesting. It could be a Big Ten final.
We're back on Nittany Game Week. The wait between the regular season finale on Thanksgiving weekend and the bowl game after New Year's can feel like an eternity after 12 games in 13 weeks. Well, here it is, just about time to take the field in Pasadena, California. Coach Paterno, Coach Bradley, after everyone runs onto the field, takes a quick look around at the Rose Bowl Stadium full of Nittany Lions and Utes fans. What do you expect to see once the game finally kicks off?
Well, we've kind of spoon-fed you a little bit of Utah stuff every week, and now we're going to give you the full game plan. It's game week, give you everything in terms of a scouting report you're going to need to know. And with every scouting report, Tom, you know you always love the tip sheet. Let's take a look at a couple things. Their kicking game have had issues, 80th in net punting, and their longest field goal attempt is 45 yards, not a lot of range. So what does that do for your four-down range?
There's going to be a lot of thought process on offense. You got two plays, extra plays to make that first down.
Now, offensively, you better stay out of third and long. They're good there, very aggressive, and then you've got to be ready for a physical football game. So let's talk a little bit about what they do offensively. Number one, this is a very aggressive coaching staff in terms of late in the game. They were trailing USC by 7, 4th down and goal. They go for it. Cameron Rising scores a touchdown. And then they say, you know what, we're going for 2. I mean, this is the ball game. They're going for 2. They're going to put it in his hands, and USC plays man, and they got a spy, Tom.
The Sky's about to be able to tackle that guy.
Yeah, and he's good, and you can see on this.
He's really good.
They've got the spy. They've got people in position. This is for the ball game. This is no overtime for us. Thank you very much. We're going to go win the game now. So be ready for that. Now let's talk about what they do. We talked about their offensive line. 135 combined starts with these guys. Very good on the outside, but also very good on the inside. Tom, like Michigan, be ready for the north-south run game.
It's going to be a downhill run game. Those shoulders are going to be square by this running back hitting up the line of scrimmage. There'll be nothing cute about this run game.
And when he gets, they lost their leading rusher in week 10. The two guys that have filled in have done a great job for them. Nice stiff arm there. That's the way that's not what you want to see from your secondary guy like that. But look how quick to the hold north and south, and you got to be ready for that. So let's go to the next play. Now, because we talked about the 4-down territory being extended on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 8, it really opens up more of the playbook that you have to defend. This is a route concept, Tom, is a first or second down route concept to get you 7-8 yards. They're comfortable doing it on 3rd and 10 because they know they're going to go for it.
They're going for it on 4th down. Don't have the field goal kicker.
Yep. And here, they throw it to tight end. He catches the ball, makes the first down anyway. So it worked out for him. Let's talk about one more element on this in terms of this is a team you're going to see more inside breaking routes than you probably have seen since Ohio State. Very aggressive with this. Put a lot of pressure on your linebackers, Tom.
It's going to put some pressure on the linebacker. But once again, not having that tight end is going to make a difference.
Yep. And you see, again, they bring the back in here. And again, they've got some good tight ends, but obviously the guy had 70 catches for a reason. But the Penn State linebackers will have to cover these guys. Now, how do you take advantage of aggressive of the linebackers on the other side? Well, here you better be ready for these guys on third down pressures. These guys are very aggressive. Number 21, 20, and 3 are all really good, very aggressive, and they come after you. Wide pressure, Tom.
Yeah, and then the tackle's got to really pass set out a little bit wider than they're probably used to.
Yeah, he doesn't even get a hand on that guy. That's how fast they are off the edge. That's a linebacker. Now, to take advantage of that, you got to be ready for some play-action pass because they're really going to try and stop the run. This is a play that Penn State has in their playbook with the third guy out, the baby in the back. Penn Staters will recognize this play. USC hurt them with this one.
Because these guys are so aggressive and they're downhill quickly. This is a great play to run down there.
Yeah, so look for those play actions. Could be tight ends coming out across the behind the formation, tailback out of the backfield. Look for that. And then finally, we talked about how aggressive they are at offense. This is the Heisman Trophy winner. They're up 1 point with 32 seconds to go, and USC's got 2 timeouts, and they send the house. Their coordinator, Morgan Scalley, is a secondary coach. You usually don't see
They don't do that if you're a secondary coach. These are the linebacker coaches make those calls.
And that's the Heisman Trophy winner back there who literally.
Well, they do have other things out of it. They like to bring all 6. They pop 2 guys. They do a bunch of different things out of this look, too.
But they're going to play aggressive. Got to be ready for that. Todd, and a guy who always plays aggressive when he's
golfing
300 from the hole and he's not going to lay up. That's Todd Sadowski.
I'm not laying up. That's right. I know you guys. I can hear it in your voice. They appreciate that aggressiveness and just rolling the dice. Thanks, coaches. We've known for weeks Penn State is up against a tough Utah squad. We figure it can't hurt to get a Pac-12 perspective on the Utes, especially when it comes from someone from Pennsylvania. Yogi Roth graduated high school from Lackawanna Trail in northeastern PA, played at Pitt, and is now an analyst for the Pac-12 network.
The Pac-12 is going to send a team to play any of the big dogs that are in the CFP right now. I would vote it to be Utah, and not because they won the Pac-12 title, but because of the physical nature of them. They could drop into the SEC and handle that environment. They could drop into the Big Ten. You'll see in the Rose Bowl, they can handle that environment. Like, they're built like that. It's a different type of team than we traditionally have out west because they're so stout up front.
And Yogi says Sean Clifford and the offensive line's ability to recognize and pick up pressure will be the key to the game. We've had outstanding interview guests all season long. We take a look back and show you some of the more impactful questions and answers from our 2022 season. More Nittany Game Week is just ahead.